For most of us, the fight against cancer is something we know all too well. Whether it's our own battle against this relentless disease or someone close to our hearts, it seems everyone has a story of how cancer has affected their lives. Over the years, MasterCard and Stand Up to Cancer have partnered with Major League Baseball, raising over $70 million to support cancer research and awareness. We all have someone in mind when we think of cancer. So this year, MasterCard is encouraging everyone to share their stories and who they stand up for. There are countless such stories in the Major League Baseball community, and one of them belongs to Boston Red Sox pitcher Liam Hendriks. In 2022, at 33 years old, he was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I have the privilege now to be joined by Liam and to hear about his courageous fight against cancer, his remarkable recovery, and who he stands up for. Liam, thank you so much for joining us here today. You're currently coming back from Tommy John surgery, but it was about a year ago that you made another comeback, and a really inspirational one at that, in your battle against cancer. Just take us back to the weeks and even days leading up to your diagnosis.
First symptoms were I had some lumps on my neck back here, a couple into here, and then some on the side of my neck. Didn't think anything of it, spoke to the doctors, got some blood work done. Nothing came up from that. And then we were going on vacation, and I reached out to our doctor. The lumps are still there. And at that point, he's like, let's get you some testing done. Let's go see you with an ENT and just get it all checked out.
And then eventually you heard the words, you have cancer. What was the first thing that went through your mind?
Definitely stage 2 because it was dots all over here.
Wow.
And then PET scan went in, they're like, yeah, it's stage 4. But luckily I had my oncologist, was fantastic. She had not only been a collegiate athlete, but she had gone through cancer herself. I've been through this, I know what you're going through, was actually really, really kind of calming. Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's quick. By your side at every turn, well before your diagnosis. Yeah. You guys are probably baseball's favorite couple, you and your wife, Christy. Just talk about the importance of her being with you throughout the course of this journey.
The big thing she did for me that I will always tell every spouse of anyone going through it, she never let me see her cry. She never let me see how much it was hurting her.
There was, a lot of emotion that I was feeling every second, but I didn't want him to feel that too. So I just realized if I'm gonna have emotions about this, I'm going to do these when I'm in the shower. I'm gonna go in my closet, pretend I'm doing laundry, have a cry for myself.
What role did she take on at home during your recovery and your treatment?
I mean, she was always making sure I was in the right space, and then also, at the right times, pushing me to get out of the house. Take the dog for a walk, get outside, do something. I'd have treatment on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, I'd be on the couch, and then Friday, I'd be back at the field.
You set a really ambitious goal of returning to the mound in May of 2023. Why was that so important?
Treatment plans are normally 6 months for what I had. I spoke to my oncologist and was like, look, 6 months is great, but is there any way to shorten it? If you respond well to treatment and you're doing well, we can knock it down to 4. So 3 months in, 6 rounds of chemo and 3 rounds of immunotherapy, and we got the scans, and I went from looking like a Dalmatian in my scan to looking all clean.
When you found out you were cancer-free, where were you? How did you find out?
You go into an open MRI system almost, and then I get a text from my oncologist, and she goes, scans look great, see you in a little bit. And that was probably the most emotional I got out of the whole situation, was reading that. It's called the victory bell. There's all that in that too. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just not playing catch for a few days. I just want to kind of get everything back into normal.
And then you go on, you do it, you achieve your goal.
Yeah.
You take the field in May. What was that moment like for you?
That was special. They had Team Liam signs right behind the bullpen. There was people in the stands, signs for me.
So I remember when they started flickering the lights, instead of being overcome with this, these tears of joy, I was overcome where all of this emotion was coming out of me in this pure, I'm so proud moment.
After battling stage 4 cancer, and listen to this place.
Stand on the mound and just slowly go around and just look around the stadium. I almost appreciated the struggle.
I believe this moment probably got Liam through some very dark times.
The baseball community truly is a family, and perhaps there's no better example in the fight against cancer with Major League Baseball's partnership with MasterCard and the Stand Up to Cancer placard moment. How special is it when you look around and realize you're not alone in this journey?
What's crazy is now looking back on it and the fact that in 2019, in my first All-Star game, I came into the game during that moment. So I ran onto the field and stopped and held up a sign. And that was my first ever experience in an All-Star game. And with the Stand Up to Cancer, it's crazy how many people hold up signs, and it's me, my partner, my wife, my son, my father. It's incredible how many families have been affected by this disease.
You and Chrissy were able to pivot and turn this into a positive thing and close out cancer. Tell us a little bit more about that initiative.
Yeah, so Close Out Cancer, they created these shirts and they started selling them. I think they raised about $100,000. And so the Close Out Cancer shirts, they were everywhere.
How's everything going?
And then Chris and I decided to host an event. You come in, you get swabbed, you get put into the bone marrow donor base.
Wow.
So there's a chance where now, if you go and get swabbed, you have a chance to save someone else's life. 8.5 hours lying down in a bed.
What advice would you have for anyone who's recently been diagnosed?
Don't feel like you're alone. Please talk to someone, whether it be a therapist, whether it be a friend, whether it be someone on the street. Whoever you can talk to, just talk to somebody, because trust me, the talking makes things easier. And don't fret about the treatment. It's not gonna be great, but if you sit there and wallow away, it's only gonna get worse. Stay positive, still live your life, do things that you can, do things that you wanna do. I stand up for Dr. Allison and Nurse Ashley.
Thank you for sharing your story, Liam. It's an inspiration to everyone that has been affected by cancer. To share your story, scan the QR code to join MasterCard and tell the world who you stand up for in the fight against cancer. I stand up for my loved ones. Standing up for the people we love, priceless.